I got the call about Michael Chandler to wrestle him, I said, hell yeah, sign me up. It's like, all right, it's time to game plan. My name is Chad Mendes. I grew up wrestling from the age of 5 all the way up through college. There were some times in my life where wrestling was so much that I wanted to try some other stuff. I remember as a kid asking my dad to play baseball, and my dad said baseball's for sissies. And so we pushed the pace, and it was basically a year-round thing for me. So obviously if I would have veered off, I probably wouldn't have had the wrestling pedigree that I did. So I am extremely grateful. My dad actually was my coach from 5 all the way up to those high school years, and then was recruited to go wrestle at Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo. There I was a 2-time All-American, 2-time Pac-10 champ. I gotta get a good warm-up these days, bro. I'm 40 years old. Absolutely loved my wrestling career. Came up short in the NCAA finals my senior year due to a little bit of a weird call, which really fired and motivated me to continue my competition career, where I jumped over to Team Alpha Male training there in Sacramento, California with Uriah Faber. Ended up working myself up the UFC ranks and fought for a UFC title 3 times, and just continued my career, both wrestling, competing in jiu-jitsu stuff, and my fight life. One of the things about wrestling, I mean, every person that I know that started wrestling at a young age and still does it now, whether it's coaching or still competing.
If we're just hand fighting and we're like fake shots, kind of like, be like, all right, open up. They're not gonna be like, oh, it goes to you. They won't just pick somebody.
We have this love for it that you can't describe for anything else. It is hands down the toughest sport on the planet. It's tested you in ways that you've never been tested in anything else in life. I've fought the top level in the UFC, and still to this day, looking back on my wrestling career, when you're cutting weight, then also breaking your body down 2-3 times a day, sweating out those 10 pounds per practice, it's a grind. Looking back on it at this point in my life, wrestling is still the hardest thing that I have ever done. I started a hunting and fishing guide service back in 2015, towards the end of my UFC career. It's called Fins and Feathers Guide Service, and it's always something I was very passionate about. Wanted to teach my family the same thing.
All right, well, we're gonna get up here, do some hiking, glassing, and see if we can find a big old buck. You think we're gonna get one tonight, girls? Yeah. All right, let's go see if we can find one. Let's do it. Follow Papa.
There are a lot of similarities in both the hunting and fishing to fighting, training, wrestling world. I do get asked this a lot. I think the biggest one that I always talk about is dedication.
That buck's right over here, okay. All right, we just closed the distance, probably 500 yards. We're gonna leave Abby and the girls back, and we're gonna just see if we can get in there and close the deal on this thing.
When I'm hunting, I have my weapon on my hand.
You guys ready?
A lot of people don't realize how much time, practice, and sacrifice and effort goes into studying that weapon. And I get out before my girls wake up, so I have no distraction, I have a clear mind. As the sun's coming up, I'm shooting reps, making sure if anything's weird, changing the technique. So when I get out there, I make a clean kill. And that dedication is very similar to what it takes to be a champion, both on the mat or in the cage. If I don't practice and I don't become proficient with my weapons, I get in there and I get my butt kicked. I think that's probably the biggest similarity, but also being able to stay focused in crunch time.
It's like, dude, you don't roll, you're gonna hurt something.
And I think guys that know the mindset of as soon as I get that takedown, I'm going into something.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like waiting.
Like, boom, you go.
That's tough, yeah. And there's a lot of guys that I see practice with their weapons and their money with it. And then as soon as that animal is standing in front of them, their adrenaline is going out of control, they're shaking all over the place, and they miss. And that's the exact same thing as standing in front of your opponent on the mat. You might have done everything you possibly can to prepare for this, but if you can't control your emotions when it's game time and you crumble, we see that happen quite a bit, and guys just fold and get beat. Real American Freestyle is something that I am extremely excited about. Never in my life, especially growing up wrestling as a kid, all the way up through college, did I ever think that there would ever be an organization like this that would be able to showcase NCAA champs, still wrestling in the Olympics and training for world team titles and getting paired up with guys that are now fighting in the UFC and just making these super exciting matchups that people want to see. Me and Michael Chandler, you know, people have talked about this for years. You guys need to fight. Your styles are very similar, and obviously we're different weight classes, and then by the time he got in the UFC, I was transitioned out. So for us to be able to match up and compete, this is going to be huge. Michael Chandler is a beast. Mikey is a guy that just goes hard from start to finish. The dude is a highlight reel fighter, and I'm looking forward to getting in there and competing against a guy like that. He's a little bit bigger than me, but I truly believe I'm gonna be stronger than him. As a wrestler, I am methodical in my approach to the win. I'm strong, I'm athletic, explosive, and I like to get in there and get her done. Ultimately, the thing that's gonna separate me and Mikey on the mats is my pedigree. There are little things that can change a big outcome on the mat. I've been in the wrestling world longer than he has, and I wrestled at a higher level than he ever did. So I'm banking on that to help me get the win. But man, I just love wrestling. Wrestling has been such a huge part of my life and has gotten me to where I'm at today. This is such a relaxing thing. Like, I don't have to get punched in the face. I don't have to punch my buddy in the face. I know a lot of fans expect us to all hate each other, but to me, this is a sport. I train my butt off, getting in shape and game planning to get out there, and it's like, all right, I'm staring at that person just like that big buck. Let's put all the work to the test and see if we can beat Mikey.
Tickets are available now. Go to Ticketmaster.com for details.